made it to Goodwill. We're gonna go in, see what we find. It's Friday morning, around 11:30 or so, because I wanted to get here early because Fridays in the afternoon are just terrible here. So I'm gonna be here early, hopefully find some good stuff. Here we go. And man, am I surprised, because sitting right here in the calculator bins is this TI 84 Plus, and these dudes go for about 50 bucks. The screen looks clean, and the reason I'm surprised is when I first got here, another reseller that I know that he's a reseller. I've never talked to him, but I see him around, and I know that's what he does. He was in this aisle, standing right here in front of the calculators, and he missed it. I'm stunned. Happy day. And what do we have here? This is a Canon, oh yeah, it's an ELPH. It's a Canon PowerShot SD400. These will go for around 70, maybe, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit more. And the good news is, pop it open here, it's got the battery. So I can pick up a charger for about $7 or $8, and presumably the battery will work. Usually they do in these things. And it's a little beat up, but I still think put a battery, a charger in it, and I've got an SD card that I can throw on it as well. I can move this for probably $75-ish, maybe a little more. I got a case I can add to it too, so maybe 80 or 85, so this is a good find. I was excited when I saw this catchphrase game right here because I found that uncensored one that went for 80 bucks, thinking this one might go for more too since it's decades, but it doesn't. It's really not worth the pickup. And then this gestures looks like it might be worth something. It goes for like 15 plus shipping, and they want five, where's it, five, there we are. So it's really not worth it. Putting it back. So I thought I was gonna do something I've never done before, which is buy Black & Decker tools. They're just not the best, but look at this combo here. I put this drill together with these 2 batteries and this charger. Looks like it might all go for 60 bucks. So I thought I could piece it all together. I had to search through all the tools to find all of this stuff, but I found it. But then I noticed that this battery has a price tag on it. It's not just $9 for the batteries and this one charger. So, and this goes for maybe 20, but now one of the batteries isn't charging. So I'm like trying to make this work, and I just don't think it's gonna work. And when you're a reseller and your gut's going, it's not really working, you wish it would work, but it's not. You just need to stop. So I think even though I thought maybe I could be 20 in and flip it for 60, now it looks like it might be 25 for 40. So that's just not gonna be a win. However, Kyra found something. Kyra, what did you find?
I found Lord of the Rings Risk game.
And what does that go for?
It goes for about $25 to $30.
What are you paying for it?
I'm paying $5 for it.
All right, that's a good thing to find. On to the next thing. I was kind of interested in this Panasonic DVD VCR combo because it's got some weight to it, and it looks kind of like a good one, but when I look it up, it only goes for like 50 bucks without the remote, and this one does not have the remote. They're asking 20, which, you know, maybe I can make a little money on it, but they require so much testing that it's just not worth it. It's better to go with like the Sonys where you can get 80, 100, 120 or so. So this was kind of a maybe, but I just don't feel like putting the energy into testing it. All right, so we just left Goodwill. We got the Lord of the Rings game that Kyra found, got the TI 84 Plus calculator, and the Canon SD400 ELPH camera, and then we were at Vinny's earlier, and we picked up this blender. Just didn't film it when I picked it up inside of Vinny's. So be on the lookout for these KitchenAid blenders because they go for decent money. Other colors will go for like 40 or 50. The red can go for 89, 95, right in there. That is kind of looks like what they're comping out for right now. So I'm glad to have this red one, and it should go for pretty good because the jar is clear and you can see the buttons are in good shape. Everything just looks really nice on this. And they were asking 20 bucks, but at Vinny's for every $100 you spend, you get $10 of free merchandise. And I had 2 of them, and I had 2 of those cards. So $20 of free merchandise, 20 bucks for the blender means I got it for nothing, and that's it worked out really well. So I'm looking forward to getting this one listed. They move pretty quickly, so it was a good pickup. All right, back at the house after going to Goodwill with Kyra, and just wanted to talk about some things that have sold, but I'm gonna start off with a sad story on this bat. This is the Easton Ghost Double Barrel. And you know I like bats because I've talked about them a couple different times. And I was in Goodwill a few days ago, and I saw some people walking around with it, or first I thought maybe there were 2 of them, because when I went over to Bats, here it was, and I thought, oh my gosh, they put it back, or were there 2? This is fantastic, because like I knew it was going to be worth something, because it's got this rubberized ring here. It's just super special looking. And so I'm like, this is awesome. So I grab it and paid $15 for it, so it was more expensive. Usually they're like $5, but I'm thinking because got the rubberized ring on it, Goodwill went, ooh, this is super special too. I mean, they can figure that out also. So I get home and I listed it, and I had it listed for $175. Some of them were going for more than $200, but $175. And I got an offer for $150, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna take it and just move the inventory. $150 is good. And so I sent an invoice to the buyer. Hey, you want to ready to pay so I can ship it to you? And he sends me a note, and he says, is there a crack in the bat? Because looks like maybe there's one in the picture. This is after he's bought it, right? I'm like, well, no, of course not. I've inspected it. There's no crack in this bat. And so I get the bat out and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, there is a crack. I missed it. It's like right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. See a little crack? I don't know. I missed it the first time, but I did. And so I go back to the buyer. I'm like, look, I can give you $100, or excuse me, $100. What am I saying? I can refund your money 100%, or you still want to buy it flawed, $35. You can have it for $35. I haven't heard back yet, so it's a sad story. They do sell flawed, so that's the good news. Okay, some of the things that I have sold here recently, the USS Fletcher model. I picked up a bunch of models in Goodwill the other day. They had several of them that were on sale, and this was one of them that I got. I paid $5 for it, and it looked like it was complete, and I sold it for $32. And I got positive feedback from the buyer that they liked it, looks in good shape to them, and they are very happy about it. And then I also sold this Bose Wave radio. I paid $123 for it, and I sold it for $300. And what was neat about it is it's got the CD changers, 3 extra CD slots on it, the one in the radio and then 3 more. And I got it on auction, local auction house here, so you can't test them ahead of time. You just kind of buy it and hope. And so 123 was paying up, but I know that Bose radios go well, and looked like the changer was going well also, and maybe $400 or $500 for it, just depending. But the actual CD player in the radio didn't work. I first put it in CD to test it, and it played, but the CD was grinding, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not what you want here. And then I was like trying to is it something just stuck? And then eventually it just quit playing altogether. But I listed it, disclosed that, and somebody that looks like they refurbish Bose, the name of their company had Bose in the name, and I was looking them up, and it looks like they just deal in used Bose products, and he picked it up for $300. So obviously it would have gone for more if it had worked, because he wouldn't be buying it at $300 if he couldn't flip it for more himself. So it's going to be resold again. The Bose Wave radio is going on a little bit of a journey. And cameras, I like cameras. I picked up this FinePix Z Series underwater camera. I paid $15 for it and sold it for $57. Got positive feedback on this one as well. So just a nice pickup to have. And then I sold a couple of Samsonite suitcases that I've had for a couple of months. I picked up this hard case one and then a soft case one that I'll show in a minute, and then 2 more hard case ones, a big one and a little one in gray, and then in blue. So there's 4 more, which I haven't listed because I'm like, how am I gonna ship these? These are kind of hard. This hard shell here, I can see how it was easy to ship, and somebody finally bought it for $40. And like I said, I'm into all of these suitcases for $10. I got them at auction as well, an estate sale, and I knew that Samsonite suitcases could go, so I was like, well, this is an easy in. It was like $7. Then with fees and everything, it turned out to be $10. To see how they go, and they sat for like a couple months. And then they sold back to back within a day, which is weird. So now I'm like, well, I should list the rest of them. So this is the hard shell one. And then this is the soft case one. It went for $25, and again, part of the same lot. And got very positive feedback on that. She says she's very happy with it. It looks great, because I said, look, there's no rips or tears, because she was asking specifically, are there any rips or tears in this? Which you're always like, I've looked at it, I don't see any, but there's this bat, so missed that. So maybe I missed one in the suitcase. So I inspected it again. I'm like, no, it's good. And so she's happy with it. So that was all well and good. So move those 2. And then I don't do a lot of toys ordinarily, but then I've got these models like the ship I just showed you. And I sold this Disney black suited Spider-Man in infinity figurine, and I picked up 34 of them, I think, or 35 of them for 21 bucks in a lot. And so I'm 21 bucks into all of them, but this one sold by itself for $30 and plus shipping. So that is going out, or it has gone out. And anything else basically should be, I should easily get all my money back because I've got so many of them. What I've done though is I picked out a couple that look like they sell for more, like Hulkbuster and Venom, and I pulled out Tinkerbell as well to sell those individually. And then I've got the rest of them lotted up, and I've got it listed for like 65, I think, but they'll go for some amount of money. So I'm gonna make money on the set as a whole, so that's good news. And then these brake pads, oh my gosh, these brake pads. This was such a bad buy. I've probably had these brake pads for a year and a half at least, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something different. I'll do auto parts, find them in Goodwill, like auto parts, and it looked like they might go for like 40 bucks. I paid 10, and then they have just sat, and I just put them up for 19 bucks, and somebody paid for it. It was free shipping, so I paid 10. I'm gonna get $6 back, so I'm losing money on just a couple dollars, but I'm just glad to have them gone. I'm not gonna do brake pads anymore. I've seen them in Goodwill subsequently, but I'm like, yeah, I know better. I'm not gonna touch those. And then another nice item that I just sold is this Sony DVD VCR combo. Find these regularly, and I love them because they can go for good money. The Sony ones, at least. The other brands, not so much. Like that Panasonic I highlighted that I found. It doesn't go for much. I've seen the Emersons. They don't do so well. Nothing seems to go really well except for Sony and Go Video, and there's one more I'm missing. There's one more that does go. Anyway, so Sony is a good one if you can find them. And this one I sold it for 130 bucks. I'm 17 all in. I paid 12 bucks for the unit, and then I picked up a remote for $5 to put it together. 17 all in, turning it into 130. Now you just have to test them really well to make sure that they're good to go. But this one worked great. And so those are some things that have sold here in recent history. So until next time, happy thrifting. If you are an eBay reseller or thinking of becoming one because of debt, you should check out the Financial Acumen Course, as seen on World Business with Kathy Ireland. The Financial Acumen Course is designed to teach you all the things you never learned about money, debt, and investments in school, but should have. It teaches you how to take control of your finances with proven principles and strategies to get out of debt and build your retirement nest egg for a wealthy lifestyle. The course is fully narrated and includes videos and animations along with exercises and assignments that are supported by a downloadable workbook. And I spent an afternoon discussing it with supermodel turned businesswoman Kathy Ireland. You can see that conversation over at yourdebtfreefuture.com. The course is not giving financial advice. It is simply teaching concepts that will supercharge your financial literacy and make you more money savvy. To get started, head over to yourdebtfreefuture.com. Until next time, happy thrifting.